Hey guys,
Happy Sunday!
Welcome back to Church Online. We're so excited to see you again.
First, we're going to tell you a Bible story, then we're going to sing a song, and then we'll play a game. Let's get straight into it.
A lot of the people who had been scattered preached the word wherever they went. Philip was one of them. He went down to a city in Samaria and proclaimed the Messiah there. When the crowds heard Philip and saw the signs he performed, they all paid close attention to what he said. For with shrieks, impure spirits came out of many, and many who were paralyzed or lame were healed. So there was great joy in that city. Now an angel of the Lord said to Philip,
Go south to the road, the desert road that leads from Jerusalem to Gaza.
So he started out, and on his way he met an Ethiopian eunuch, an important official in charge of all the treasury of the Kandake. This man had gone to Jerusalem to worship, and on his way home he was sitting in his chariot reading the book of Isaiah the prophet. The Spirit told Philip,
Go to the chariot and stay near it.
Then Philip ran up to the chariot and heard the man reading Isaiah the prophet.
Do you understand what you're reading?
How can I, unless someone explains it to me?
So he invited Philip to come up and sit with him. They read the scripture together, and then the eunuch asked Philip,
So tell me, in this passage, was the prophet talking about himself or someone else?
Then Philip began with that very passage of scripture and told him the good news about Jesus. As they traveled along the road, they came to some water, and the eunuch said,
Look, there is water, which stops me from being baptized now.
He gave orders to stop the chariot. Then both Philip and the eunuch went down into the water, and Philip baptized him. When they came up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord suddenly took Philip away, and the eunuch did not see him again, but went on his way rejoicing. Philip, however, appeared at Azotus and traveled about, preaching the gospel in all the town until he reached Caesarea.
The Lord doesn't always do miracles the way that we think he will, but he is always working things out for our good.
Sometimes we expect God to give us a big sign or a huge miracle. We think we can know what each miracle should look like, but that's not always the case.
In this story, Naaman thinks that Elisha's advice is silly. It's such a small thing that he asks him to do, and not at all what he expects.
God often surprises us in how he works, but we have to trust God even when we don't understand the way he asks us to do things.
Whether big or small, we can trust God that whatever he's saying is the best way to go. Hey guys, welcome back to worship. We're really excited about this week. We're going to be doing a song that has actions, and we're going to progressively get faster and faster and faster and see how fast we can do the actions. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's called Deep and Wide. So this is the action for deep, and this is the action for wide.
Now, I had a really hard time with those, but Abby's here to teach us. So.
Yeah. And then this is the action for fountain flowing. Do it like waves with your fingertips. So, here we go. We're going to teach you the first verse, and then the second one is very similar, so you'll catch on quickly. So we're going to start slow for you guys, so don't worry. Here we go.
Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide.
So the fountain flowing in this is God's love for us, and it's deep and it's wide and it never ends. And the second verse is just the opposite. It's wide and deep, God's love for you.
Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep.
Okay guys, now we're gonna go a little bit faster. Here we go, starting with deep and wide.
Oh, okay.
Deep and wide,
there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep.
Great job! Can you go faster?
Deep and wide, Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Wide and deep, wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Got it wrong.
So close. Okay, guys, if you already can't follow along, that's totally cool. But for those of you still catching on, we're gonna go even faster.
No way.
Here we go.
Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep.
Great job, everybody!
That was so fast.
We are so glad that you are here to worship with us, and don't forget, God's love for you is deep and wide. See you next week.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Crafting and Gaming with Darla. I hope you guys have been playing your Mancala games and enjoying it. This week, we're doing a craft. You're gonna need as follows. A box of Fruit Loops, but if you guys don't do Fruit Loops, you could use Cheerios as well. Scissors. Remember, they're sharp and sometimes you need your parents' help. And some string. Alright. You guys go grab that stuff, pause the video, and come back. Welcome back. Now that you've got the things that you need, we're gonna get right on to it. First, you're gonna take some string, and you're gonna wanna get enough that you can put it around your neck like a necklace, alright? Once you have that string, you're gonna cut it. Now get some help if you need some. Now we're done with our string and our scissors. This part's a little bit tricky, so get help if you need it. But you're gonna do little loops and put knots in this end of your rope. Now that you've got the knots in your rope, we're gonna grab some Fruit Loops. I love Fruit Loops. Okay. Now, you can put this end of the rope in your mouth, or you can just leave it on the counter, but it might slide off. You might need to put something heavy on it like the scissors. Oh, Darla spilt the Fruit Loops. So, pick a color, or if it's a Cheerio, they're all the same color, that's okay. You might have to lick the end of your string so that you can get the Fruit Loops through. And we're just gonna thread them all on here. I'm just gonna keep doing this until my string is full. Alright, when you've got your necklace looking something like this, then you can ask a parent to help you put a knot in it up here. Now before you tie it, make sure that it's gonna fit around your neck. See? Now this necklace is going to be for a special friend of ours, Chuck. So we're going to just call him in here in just a minute to give it to him. Once you got it in a knot, you can just throw it over your head, unless you got a big hat on like me, and now you can't. But we can give it to Chuck, so let's go get him. Chuck, I made you something.
You made what?
I made you a necklace.
Oh my goodness, isn't that fantastic?
You might have to take your hat off.
Nah, I think it's good.
Okay. There you go.
Look at that. Isn't that just fantastic?
Guess-
Am I allowed to eat it?
Yeah, you can even eat it, Chuck.
Mmm, that's fantastic.
I'm glad you like it.
I love cereal. I eat it every morning.
Me too. All right, say bye to my friends.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. But
It's good.
okay, I talked about the big hat thing. How I couldn't.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great Sunday. Ready? Energy.
Deep and wide,
deep and wide. There's a fountain.
You're just deep and wide. I don't know why. Ready?
Deep
That's
and
wide.
Deep and wide, deep and wide. There's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Got it wrong. Good, do it again. Wide. Did it wrong. Did it again. I got it wrong. Did it again. Deep, wide, and deep.
wide and deep. This fountain.
I did fountain instead of wide.
Deep, wide, and deep. There's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Deep, wide. How is that how the fountain?
flowing
How
wide
is
and
that? I can't believe it.
Only like you've been roasting me the past 5 days you're missing.
Here we go. Deep, wide.
Oh, we're going